Hi there, year six. Happy World Book Day. We're sorry we can't be in school with you to share this with you, but hopefully some of the activities we've got planned for today will get you involved with the World Book Day challenges. And also, hopefully you can find some time today to find a nice little place at home where you can sit and read one of your favourite books, or perhaps share one of your favourite books with somebody else that's at home with you. I think that's a lovely thing to do. And normally what we enjoy doing when we're at school, where we're able to choose a book and then you can go and choose which classroom you want to go and listen to which teacher read their chosen book. So perhaps let us know if you've got a favourite book that you've shared with somebody at home. Perhaps you've read something to one of your grown-ups or a little brother or sister or a big brother or sister. Do let us know. It would be lovely to hear what you've been doing today for World Book Day. Perhaps you've chosen to dress up as your favourite World Book Day character at home. Again, do send some photos in. We'd love to be able to see what you've been up to. So today, let's have a little look at what we're going to be doing. As I mentioned earlier in the week, what we're going to look at today is a book by Katherine Rundell that has been specifically commissioned, or specially commissioned, so that means written for World Book Day. So it's one of the books that you can buy with your £1 book token vouchers. So it's available for £1, and it's connected to her most famous book, which is Rooftoppers, which I know lots of you have really enjoyed reading before. So we're going to have a little look at Sky Steppers, which is her book, and some of the inspiration behind it. And we're also going to watch a little video of Katherine talking about her inspiration, how she is inspired to write some of these fantastic stories. So as a quick warm-up, what we'd like you to do first, and I think you're going to pause me in a minute, is you are going to do a 5-minute warm-up where you are going to think about an exciting and wild adventure, because Katherine Rundell's books are full of adventure, in extraordinary places where you could go. So where would you go if you could go anywhere? So think about that she's written books like The Explorer, where you've gone into the Amazon rainforest, or the rooftops of Paris. Maybe your place is made up, or maybe it's a real location, like Katherine Rundell writes from. So I'm going to give you 5 minutes now to think about your place, and then you're going to draw an outline of a suitcase and pack all of the things that you might need to take to this new wild place on this fantastic adventure you're going to go on. So what sort of things do you need to pack? What sort of place is it? What sort of things will you need there? And perhaps what sort of dangers might you need to prepare for? What sort of things might you need to take with you? So pause me, 5 minutes, off you go. Okay. Hopefully you paused me and had the go at the 5-minute warm-up where you've thought about your exciting place. Perhaps shout out at the screen to me some of these exciting places you've chosen. Okay, I'm really excited. Hopefully you can share some of these later with us on email. And also you've drawn your outline of your suitcase and thought about what you need to take with you. So not just the essentials, not just a toothbrush. What extreme resources might you need for the dangers you could face in these wild places? Hold that, we're going to come back to it a little bit later. But what we're going to do first now is think about Katherine Rundell and her inspiration for her new book, Sky Steppers. So in a moment, you're going to watch this video where she talks about this inspiration and where she took this inspiration from. So she's going to talk about actually that Sky Steppers was inspired by this man here. Can you see him? He's actually, I had to ask Mrs. Hattrick about this because she found this photograph. He's lying down there. It's about a man called Philippe Petit, who was a French man who went tightroping. I think that must be how you say it, tight-roped. Went tightroping between the two towers of Notre Dame Cathedral. So Notre Dame is a very famous cathedral in Paris. And this is in 1971. And Katherine talks about how she was inspired by this image, by this act of daring by this man, and then talks about how that made her think about some different qualities that this person, this character, would need to have, and this idea of hidden parts of yourself, how doing things like this sometimes can make you think about, sometimes bring out different parts of your character. So I want you to pause me now, and you're going to watch this video where Katherine Rundell is going to talk to you a little bit more about this inspiring figure, Philippe Petit, and how he inspired her books. Okay, hopefully you've paused me and been able to watch that video. and you've learned a little bit more about how this inspired Catherine's stories. I think it's incredibly exciting to look back in history and find these people who did these crazy things and think about how you could use those as characters for a story. So what I'd like you to do now is a quick 15-minute warm-up exercise. Again, getting you writing, getting your ideas flowing and onto the paper. So Philippe Petit completed his stunt in 1971, as I said, and we want you to use this incredible image. There he is, tightrope walking between the two Notre Dame towers. It's really high up, probably the wind. What could you hear? What could you see? How would it feel? And we want you to use this image and think about all of those feelings that Philippe Petit would be having, or you would be having in his position, to create a narrative description of this daring and dangerous act. How can you create that sense of danger and tension in your writing? We've talked about this before, haven't we? We thought about how we could use sentence structure to help build that tension, how you can use different senses as well to build that tension. As I mentioned earlier, how is he feeling standing there? How would you be feeling? Would the tightrope be wobbling? What if there was a gust of wind or a bird flew past you quickly and close by? What could happen? So challenge yourself now in 15 minutes or less. So again, pause me. You can put a timer on or ask somebody or look at the clock and time yourself for 15 minutes or less. But I think 15 minutes, 10 to 15 minutes to write something to create this narrative description. If you finish within those 15 minutes, read it through and do a quick edit. Double check. Does it make sense? Have you used different sentence structures? Have you thought about those short sentences that build tension? Have you thought about the different senses? So if you finish before the 15 minutes is up, have a quick read through. So pause me now for 15 minutes. Off you go. Okay, hopefully you paused me and you've managed to write your narrative description of Philippe Petit standing on his tightrope right between the two towers of Notre Dame. Have you thought about those sentence structures? Did you have a chance to edit and have a read through? If not, again, pause me now and read through. Think about, have you created tension? Is that the impact you've had on your reader? Are you able to feel the danger that Philippe Petit is in? Okay, so hopefully once you've had a chance to do your writing of this piece and paused and edited as well, you are going to be ready to now take the next step with your writing today. So what we want you to do is take that inspiration from the daring and dangerous acts of Philippe Petit and the little narrative that you've written, narrative description you've written, and also the adventures in Catherine Rundell's books. So the adventures in Sky Steppers that you've looked at today in book talk, or will look at if you haven't done your book talk yet, in Rooftoppers, which lots of you have read, and The Explorer as well, which I think you've looked at as well in year 4. And then think back to your suitcase that you've packed or you drew earlier today and the wild adventure that you planned to go on. So you chose that exciting and perhaps dangerous location and thought about what you'd need to take there. So we want you to drop into a dangerous moment on your adventure. You're going to describe the setting you are in, what dangers you face and how you feel. Think back to the little narrative description you wrote about Philippe Petit and how you built tension in your writing. And also consider those hidden parts of yourself that Catherine Rundell talked about, that you've probably discovered when you've been faced with a challenge or danger on your wild adventure. Think back as well when we talked a bit in PSHCE this week about growth mindset and making mistakes and challenging yourself. That's when we learn new things about ourselves, this idea of that hidden part that you didn't know you had, that strength you didn't know you had until you had to face something, some kind of danger. Now, yesterday we didn't plan our writing, but today I think we need to take about 5 to 10 minutes to bullet point or plan out, map out your writing for today, because you've got your adventure, you've got to think about, again, where are you, what's happened and how you feel. So just a quick little plan, mapping out those ideas, bringing them together as well, because you might need to sit there for a couple of minutes and think about what you need to do. And then remember, when we're writing, to keep looking through, looking back and checking, reading the sentence you've written and thinking, how is that going to lead into the next sentence? How am I going to divide my writing if I need more than one paragraph? Where's that change going to come from? And how can I vary my sentence structure? Just like we talked about with the piece you wrote about Philippe Petit, to make sure I build that tension and element of danger, because that's the impact you want to have on your reader. But again, we want you to have fun and be creative with this, be imaginative. We want it to be wherever you want to go and whatever danger you think you'll face there. And we're really excited to see what you come up with and see all your fantastic ideas. So please do send these into the Year 6 inbox, and we're really excited to see what you do. So I hope you have a wonderful World Book Day, and I hope you enjoy these challenges and enjoy having a bit of opportunity for some freedom for creative writing. And I really look forward to seeing what you do. So I will speak to you again next week, and take care. Bye.